Peace be with you. I'm Uncle Ivan. Today we'll discuss two important biblical terms, the difference between Judas and Jews, and the difference between brother and brother in the Christian context. While these terms may appear similar on the surface, they actually contain profound historical, cultural, and theological connotations. Judah primarily refers to Jacob's fourth son, one of the 12 tribes, and later became the name of the southern kingdom of Judah. In the original text of the Bible, Judah refers to a specific person, tribe, or geographic location. However, the concept of Jewish became broader, particularly after the return from exile, to encompass all ethnic groups that practiced Judaism, were of pure descent, and resided in the Holy Land. The turning point in history came during the return from the Babylonian exile, when the majority of those who returned were from the former kingdom of Judah. Therefore, they began to call themselves Jews to distinguish themselves from other ethnic groups with impure religions and descent, such as the Samaritans. Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? Matthew 2 verse 2, the King of the Jews sought by the Magi in Matthew's Gospel is a declaration of the identity of Jesus Christ. This King of the Jews not only refers to Jesus' lineage, his descent from the line of David of the tribe of Judah, but also indicates that he is the Messiah promised to the Jewish people. When the chief priests and scribes were asked where Christ would be born, they quoted the prophecy of Micah, "O Bethlehem, land of Judah, and you are by no means least among the princes of Judah, for from you shall come a governor who will shepherd my people Israel." This passage perfectly illustrates the connection between the geographical concept of Judah and the ethnic concept of Jews. Born in Judah and King of the Jews, Jesus' identity transcends geography, blood, and spirituality. In the Christian context, while brothers and brothers share the same term in the original language, the difference in their Chinese translation carries profound theological significance. According to the translation principles of the Union Version of the Bible, brothers typically refer to blood relatives, while brothers more often refers to spiritual relationships, including those of the same faith and path. This distinction reflects a Christian redefinition of relationships, a spiritual kinship that transcends blood ties. Whoever does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother and sister and mother. Matthew 12 verse 50. Jesus' words redefined the very nature of brotherhood. He demonstrated that true brotherhood is not based on blood ties but on obedience to the will of the Father. This spiritual brotherhood transcends the boundaries of blood, race, and social status and forms the theological foundation for Christians to address one another as brothers and sisters. In Romans, Paul frequently uses the term brothers to address believers, emphasizing that the spiritual unity in Christ transcends all outward differences. In Romans 9 verse 3, Paul wrote, "For I could wish that I myself were accursed, separated from Christ, for my brothers, my kinsmen according to the flesh." The term brothers here has a dual meaning, referring to his fellow Israelites by blood, but also reflecting spiritual concern. As a Christian, Paul remained deeply concerned about the salvation of his people, willing to pay a high price for their salvation. This demonstrates the love that Christians should possess, which encompasses not only love for spiritual brothers but also for blood relatives and fellow countrymen. Paul's heart reflects the love of Christ, who willingly became a curse, separated from God the Father, in order to save his own kindred. Through an in-depth analysis of Judas versus Jew and brother versus brother, we see that biblical terms carry rich historical and cultural connotations. Judas represents a specific person and geographical concept, while Jew has evolved into a broader ethnic and religious identity. Brother emphasizes blood ties, while brother highlights spiritual relationships. A correct understanding of these terms helps us more deeply grasp the historical context and theological truths of the Bible, recognizing that God's plan of salvation is both historically specific and spiritually universal. If you would like to know more about today's information or other content, please leave a comment below. Thank you for your support. I hope you will subscribe, enable notifications, and share to support the continuation of this channel and learn more. You can also visit my Patreon. Let us know God, reflect on faith, and live out Christ together.